Hello my friends and welcome back to Holistic Living Down Under. Today's video is kind of brought to you by my dog. You see, as I was getting ready to make the cheesecake recipe that I posted for you last week, I walked into the kitchen to find that my dog had eaten my butter. However, luckily enough, I had bought this big bottle of cream at Costco last week. So, knowing how I could make butter in my Thermomix, I thought, why not show you guys? So that's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's get started. First of all, you can make this in a Thermomix or you can use electric beaters. If you're using a Thermomix, you need to attach your butterfly or your whisk attachment. Then we are going to measure in about half a litre of thick cream. So we need at least about 35% of fat content in this. Add your lid and we're going to start whisking at speed 4. So if you're using beaters, this is just like a medium speed. You're going to keep whisking. You're going to see that the cream is going to start thicken, and usually you would take your cream off here and use it as a nice thickened cream or whipped cream. But we are going to keep going. So we're going to go and go until we start seeing the cream split. When the cream splits, it's going to start splattering about and it's going to be quite obvious. So look at that. There you go. We've now split our cream. So I'll show you what it all looks like now. Take the lid off. So when you have a look, you can see that there's liquid down the bottom. So that's actually your buttermilk. So you have your milk solids, which is like the butter, and you have the buttermilk or the whey down the bottom. So the next thing we're going to do now is remove the butterfly, and if you're using electric beaters, remove your beaters. And we are going to start straining the buttermilk off the butter. So I just use this basket that actually comes with a Thermomix, but I would use like a colander or something like that if I didn't have that, because they have fairly solid sides. A normal sieve would be too full of holes, so you have no sort of sides to actually push the butter up against to press out the whey. So I'm just placing all of the solids in and just letting the whey start draining out down the bottom, and I'm going to use my spatula and I'm going to start pressing the butter up against the sides. So what this does is release any whey that's sort of trapped inside the butter, and I'll just keep sort of mixing it all up a little bit, and then I press it up against the sides again, and you'll see this. I keep having to pour out a bit more, and some of it will drip down to the sides as well. Once I've sort of finished off with the butter, once it starts getting into a nice big lump, what I can do is I'll put away my spatula, and I'm actually going to start using my hands for this. By using my hands, I just find that I get a little bit more control, and I can usually get a little bit more of that whey out of the butter as well. So I just try to get off as much as I can. So I'm starting to get a pretty decent lump now. There's not too much more coming out. So I'm going to take the buttermilk and I'm going to place it into a separate container. Then I'm going to just place that into my fridge and leave it for about up to 5 days until I have some other recipe to use it with. So there you go. I'm going to put that away. Now next thing you're going to do is you're going to do half a litre of water, and then you're going to add some ice cubes to it. This is just to make it really nice and chilled. Then you're going to strain away the ice cubes, and you're just going to place the water into your bowl. And we're now going to wash our butter. This is just to get rid of the last bit of whey that might be trapped inside that cube of butter. And the more whey we can get out of it, the longer that butter will keep nice. So it's going to last you for much longer. The better you clean it. So I'm just going to add my lid back on again, and I'm going to give it about 5 to 10 seconds on speed 4. And just give it a nice little wash. Doesn't need much. It's just to sort of get that last little bit out of it. It splatters a little bit, but it's okay. I just like to keep an eye on it when it goes, because I don't want it to like emulsify, and that's why we actually use that icy cold water to prevent it from emulsifying. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. I'm going to place it into the strainer, strain out the water. I'm not going to keep this water. I'm just going to toss it away because it's not that much whey in it. It's only just like a little bit, so I might as well just toss it away. So doing the same thing again, I'm just using my fingers this time on my hands. So I'm just going to knead out whatever water's left, just until I have a nice lump of butter. Now at this point you can, if you want to, place it back into your Thermomix or into your bowl with the beaters, and you can add a little bit of salt or herbs and garlic depending on what sort of flavor you want, or you can just leave it like this. And that's what I did today. So there you have it. That's how I make butter from scratch. And how soft is this? Look at that. Now, if you want spreadable butter straight from the fridge, you can again place it back into the Thermomix and mix it up with a little bit of oil, and that will help it as well. But I hope you enjoyed this little hack to make your own butter at home. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again next time.